So there's a video I haven't watched yet, and it is from just after season 3 got delayed, and it is from JGod. And he, of course, is very big into Warzone. He doesn't even barely make any videos on multiplayer or anything like that. So he has a video, and it is my face not being there. His video is titled Verdansk delayed. And what is going on, computer? You can do this. I believe in you. Verdansk delayed. Should we be worried? Now, I'm curious what his take on it. It's short, so I'm guessing he's going to say no. But I think he put this out like right after the delay happened, and some news happened after that. So let's see his opinion, and then I'll give you mine, and then yeah.
So we kind of got a surprise today with Verdansk. It looks like it's being delayed until April 3rd. I know that for a lot of people, this is kind of like a huge deal. And I think for a lot of people that play the game and creators in the space, it is kind of a big deal because I think there's a lot riding on this Verdansk integration for Warzone. In terms of BO6,
it seems as though they have put the entire game on hold for this integration. Does it not feel like that? Because not only have we been like waiting for these updates since season 2, like they said there were supposed to be more updates coming in season 2 that we have then postponed. On top of that, the season 3 update isn't just Verdansk. It is a bunch of things. It is a zombies map. It is multiplayer. So now it feels like the entirety of the game is getting held up.
Zombies, I think regardless of what happens in their updates, BO6 is going to be fine. I think it's overall a decent multiplayer, obviously with some flaws. Zombies obviously has its own issues, but overall they're getting new maps pretty much every season, and it looks like they're getting one at the start of season 3. Not a huge deal. Main content for Warzone though has kind of mainly been put on hold. Not kind of put on hold. Definitely been put.
There's been no content for Warzone for season 2.
And season 3 is supposed to bring a ton of new content with Verdansk, some changes to the way the game plays, with a semi-light integration essentially, because it will change and rework some of the systems that we've already seen through leaks, and stuff that still hasn't been leaked will probably slightly change as well, right? Or at least I hope so. But we're kind of at a weird spot because I think if you guys have been following the channel for a very long time, I'm usually pretty honest about the state of the game. I'll usually call things out when they're trash, and
one of his last videos is about if the game was dead or not.
Give kudos when I like something, and when I say something's trash, people say you're a hater, and then when you like something, people say you're a shill. So if 98% of it is bad talking the game, and then you have the 2% where you say something positive, that 2% is enough where you're a shill regardless. So if you,
you could still say nothing positive. I've done it. I've had videos where I say 0 positive about the game. You're still a shill.
Been following long enough, you know that way back when, back in Warzone 2, before the game came out, I said it needed to be delayed until they address it. There's no reason to put out the content and it come out poorly. And I think this is kind of one of those scenarios where they're actually doing that. And it's kind of like a double edge.
Okay, let's get real here for a second, okay? What can they do in, what is it? It was supposed to be the 20th in 2 weeks. With 2 extra weeks, what can they do that is going to be that big of a difference? As a whole, it's going to be bug testing, bug fixes, which is good. It's important. But if it's that broken where it needs to be delayed, how worried should we actually be?
Because of course I'd want the content to be sooner rather than later, especially since a lot of times videos, when you make videos, you put it out, you can get views. I can make stuff on new metas, long range meta. If they fix sniping, close range meta, we're going to get some new weapons. We'll probably have some MW theme weapons that we've seen, Growl, AMAX, Kilo, like there's HDR. There's a lot of content to be.
So this is all from leaks, by the way, which like the leaks make sense. Okay, like bring back the guns from when the game was played.
When this drops, it being pushed out 2 weeks.
No. Is it because it could be on a new engine? People are saying that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because they're bringing back Verdansk on a new engine. Yeah, but that should be already addressed at this point.
Kind of sucks, but if that gives us a better opportunity to have a game that drops a little bit more polished, I think that's a good thing. I think there are some other issues that we still need a little bit of awareness on because it hasn't been cleared up exactly how certain things will be delivered.
So this is, I think, probably the reason is they haven't got everything fixed that they wanted fixed before Verdansk gets implemented, which scares me to no end. Because as we've seen with Warzone updates, they fix everything. They put in a new update. They put in a new map. Everything's broken again. So even if everything is in a perfect state, they finally, 1 week before Verdansk comes out, they finally fix everything. They introduce Verdansk. It's going to break things again. I almost guarantee it. And if it breaks everything they just fixed, people are just going to be frustrated once again.
I think one of the main things that they talked about at the beginning or middle of season 1 was this Ricochet anti-cheat getting a significant update to address cheating. Apparently one of the cheat providers that's a big cheat provider
this could be it
got
too.
shut down or closing their doors, so I'm not really sure what
So we saw actually 2 of the main cheat providers get shut
the
down.
logistics of that, or that's just coincidence. But there's kind of a lot of moving parts, and I think one of the biggest issues that people are concerned with is the shadow ban system, because whether it's a voice chat ban or getting reported just because you killed someone or you teabagged, so then they decided to report you, or back in the day, if you used a riot shield, people would report you, or if you're just camping. I mean, there's a lot of reasons people get falsely shadow banned. I'm sure there are instances where people definitely need to be banned and sure, like remove those accounts, make it harder for people to get accounts. But regardless, that update is supposed to come out with season 3. So not only is
I think that's another pretty good reason. I think that's probably the best point that can be made for this. It very, very, very well could have been delayed for an anti-cheat thing. Like, I think that's a pretty highly likelihood that that's actually the reason.
Update being delayed in terms of Verdansk coming out. It also means some of these changes and integrations are also being delayed.
Also, we'll save that for my own opinions.
Means that this Ricochet update that we've been waiting on to at least make a determination if it's going to suck, it probably will, but at least a like it coming out so we can say, yes, it does suck or it doesn't suck in terms of content. I think it's pretty evident that there's still multiple things that need to change. And if you watch the recent video and you've been playing the game, playing Urzikstan with 150 players is playing significantly better.
Yep.
And
I only
it's
played
kind of
one
one
game.
of those things where
Let's
it's like,
they should just get
why-
rid of Warzone and merge it with multiplayer where you can play Big Map or Resurgence. That way they don't have to depend on Raven completely, and also they can work both on multiplayer and its extensions simultaneously throughout its life cycle.
So they should just get rid of Warzone. So like, here's the thing, and here's the I'll get to this on my own opinions, but a lot of people are saying just get rid of Warzone and then put the Raven developers on multiplayer. If they get rid of Warzone, they're not going to move where people are working. They're going to fire people, and I don't think that's a good thing. And that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's not as easy as just, oh, Warzone's gone, everyone's working on multiplayer. Multiplayer is going to be much better. They have certain people that work on multiplayer, certain people that work on zombies. Maybe some of the Warzone people get moved to DMZ, but it's not that simple.
we've had these
Thanks for the
things
bits.
way before, and hopefully that's just a step in the right direction, because all the positivity I'm seeing around that change has been pretty significant, and hopefully that just leads it to be like, yes, people who in fact cover the game, play the game, and have multiple hours on the game maybe understand some of the changes that could be made and get closer to that Warzone 1 feel.
But yes, I do agree that we played that one game.
Oh no,
Let's do this.
sad face. Now I take my words back. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs.
Yeah, nobody does.
Disappointed face.
Just the disappointed face indeed. I don't think anyone wants them to lose their job, but 100% the game has felt better since 150 players.
I think there's obviously some things that are better, some things are worse than Warzone 1. And we've gotten closer to that needle, removing backpacks and a lot of those changes. So it's unfortunate that we do got to wait a couple extra weeks. If you were planning for Verdansk on the 20th, You get a couple extra weeks to finish out the battle pass if you hadn't completed, unlock whatever challenges you want to do, and then get ready for April 3rd, which will be the huge content drop for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone.
From everything that we know, we are going to be getting a zombies map that day
And
as
then
well.
hopefully probably the week of the 24th-ish, 27th-ish, somewhere in there, we should get a roadmap, start getting some blogs.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah, I think next week, I think the way that it'll work now at this point, if I can pull up a calendar, is next week on probably the 10th. Yeah, next Monday, we'll probably start to get Verdansk teasers, and those will probably go throughout the week. And then the week of the 17th, I think we will start to get teasers for the rest, zombies, multiplayer, weapons, things like that. The week of the 24th, we will probably get a roadmap, and then the following week, we will probably get the actual launch.
All that type of stuff leading into the patch notes, which will have all the various changes. So looking forward to it. It is a little bit odd to delay it this close to the launch. It would have been cool, like at the start of season 2, they just pushed it out to April, but a couple weeks before, like, we need a little bit extra weeks to cook. Cool, thanks for being honest. But is it really like, shouldn't you have known like a month ago this stuff wasn't going to be ready?
That is my worry, right? Like, this isn't like a 2-week extension is a scary amount. They were like, we need to delay it by 2 months. It's like, holy shit, we have no
I never
brain
cared
juice.
about Warzone
But
as a
either-
zombies player because it didn't care about zombie outside of Halloween events.
Okay.
I loved playing Blackout and played more Blackout in 2019 than all of the time Warzone has been out because zombies was actually included in the content and gameplay.
So you are solely a zombies player who only plays Warzone around the Halloween events, but you played Blackout because of the zombies that was incorporated in it. Okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from. To me, it's not a I don't ever see a battle royale going here. Let me ask you a question, Safety Net. Did you play Modern Warfare Zombies?
Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to Verdansk again and kind of seeing where it is. Nice part is there are other games to play. In the meantime, I just finished up Monster Hunter
Holy boy, thank you for the gifted as well, dude.
Wilds, which is a pretty W game. I'd never played Monster Hunter games. And then this Berserker or Kazan or whatever the heck comes out on the 27th. So I'll be grinding
even
that
know what
out
that one
right
is.
before April 3rd. So I get 2 games in the mix.
This week, hopefully, I need someone to play Split Fiction with tomorrow. I was going to ask Icebergs or maybe Zach or Jordan, but I don't know if they'll be able to play. But I think he's right there. Like, the whole 2-week extension thing is a worrisome amount to me. Because if they said, okay, we need a month, like, they're clearly trying for Verdansk, right? Like, I don't see this update being delayed for zombies, because if it was just zombies delayed, they would have just said the zombies map is going to come out at the reload, or the zombies map is going to come out 2 weeks after Verdansk because we want to split the 2 up. Like, right? They would have just done that. So it's not zombies, at least I don't think. Multiplayer, I don't see how on earth multiplayer could be delayed. Just maps, weapons, events. I just don't see it. So it's Verdansk. It's Verdansk, anti-cheat, game not crashing, things along those lines. It's the only thing that makes any sense. And yeah, man, it's scary.
We need
Let's
the
do
hype
this.
train to go on.
I think I don't know how the type train works, dude. I think it says hype train incoming. I don't know if you need more gifted subs or how it works, but appreciate all the bits and everything, gifted subs. I'd be more concerned about a month. 2 weeks just sounds like they fixed something which broke something else. Could be, or they're waiting on something, or something. I don't know. It's an odd. It's a very, very, very odd amount of time, because it means nothing huge should be broken, but at the same time they're still needing to fix something. So, like, without proper communication, because they haven't even announced that Verdansk is coming with season 3 again, I think that'll be coming next week. We can't know why they are delaying it 100%. We just can't. So who knows? And should we be concerned at the end of the day? From what we have heard, if this update doesn't do well, it could be the end of Warzone, which I do find hard to believe. And I was hoping he would talk a little bit more about that in the video because I would love his take on that. As a whole, I don't think it will happen. But yeah,
I actually liked MWZ way more than Cold War Outbreak. I thought Outbreak in CW was boring while MWZ made me feel actually engaged. It's just a shame that the post-launch content didn't get a lot of support. Been playing zombies since WoW BTW.
So I actually agree with you. So Outbreak was fun, but I think Outbreak for me played best as a solo experience. Modern Warfare Zombies was cool. It was innovative. It was different. It was almost like an extraction shooter, but again, like DMZ, was not supported with the post-launch content like it should have been. So because of that, we never really got to the extent that we should with that game. And I think that's a problem that every game mode that has been introduced has had, except for Warzone. I think Warzone has had enough support where it has had time to thrive. But now they might be pulling that support, which is insane, right? Like, pretty freaking insane. That if this update doesn't go well, Warzone just might be gone. And then what? Then are they just going hard into DMZ? Maybe. And you know what? That could be really cool. Maybe we don't dump on that. Maybe we don't poo-poo on that because maybe they have something cooking up so hard that they actually want Warzone to fail so that they can build this other thing. But I doubt it. And who knows? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. But should we be worried? Not yet. Let's wait the 2 weeks. Let's see what state it launches in. And if it launches in a bad state, then we can be worried.